You come home from the gun shop with your first firearm. You are excited, you are responsible, and you want to store it safely, so you start researching gun safes. Within 10 minutes you are overwhelmed. Safes that cost $300, safes that cost $3,000, biometric locks, mechanical locks, fire ratings, pry resistance, bolt work, and every company is telling you that their safe is the only one that will actually protect your guns. You have no idea what you actually need. Today we are cutting through the sales pitch. This is the complete gun storage and safe guide for 2026. Security versus accessibility. What you actually need based on your situation. What companies try to sell you that you do not need. The biggest mistakes gun owners make. And exactly which safes and storage solutions are worth your money. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to store your firearms safely without overspending on features you will never use. Subscribe right now because this video will save you from wasting $1,000 on the wrong safe. No sponsorships, no affiliate links, just honest information about gun storage in 2026. Let's go. Before we talk about specific products, we need to understand the two competing priorities in gun storage: security and accessibility. Security means keeping your guns away from unauthorized users, children, criminals, guests, anyone who should not have access. Accessibility means being able to get to your gun quickly when you need it. Home defense, emergency situations. These two priorities are in direct conflict. The more secure your storage, the slower your access. The faster your access, the less secure your storage. The safe you choose depends on which priority matters more in your specific situation. Let me break this down. If you have children in your home, security is the top priority. Period. There is no acceptable compromise. Your guns must be completely inaccessible to kids. That means a real safe or a real lock, not a cable lock, not hiding it on a high shelf, a container that a child cannot open even if they find it. The statistics on kids and firearms accidents are brutal. Most of them involve guns that were stored loaded and accessible because the parent thought the kid did not know where it was or could not figure out the lock. Kids are smarter than you think. They watch you, they explore, they find things. If you have children under 18 in your home, you need secure storage that assumes your kid will eventually find your gun and try to access it. Your safe or lock must stop them. This is non-negotiable. If you live alone or only with adults you trust, your priorities shift. Security is still important, but accessibility becomes equally important. If someone breaks into your home at 3 a.m., you need to access your defensive firearm in seconds, not minutes. A giant safe in the basement does not help you when the threat is in your bedroom. You need quick access storage that is still secure enough to stop a smash and grab thief. This is where quick access safes and lockboxes come in. Now let's talk about the options. Full-size gun safes. These are the big, heavy units you see in gun shops. 400 to 2,000 pounds, hold 10 to 40 guns, cost anywhere from $500 to $5,000. Fire-rated, pry-resistant, bolt work that locks into the frame. These safes are designed to stop a determined thief with power tools and time. They are also designed to protect your guns from fire. A quality gun safe will keep the interior below a certain temperature for a certain amount of time during a fire. Usually 30 minutes to 2 hours at 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. This protects your firearms from heat damage and keeps ammunition from cooking off. Do you need a full-size safe? It depends. If you own more than 5 long guns, a full-size safe makes sense. It consolidates your storage in one secure location. If you live in an area with high burglary rates, a full-size safe is good insurance. Quality firearms are expensive. Replacing a stolen collection costs thousands. A $1,500 safe that stops a thief is a good investment. And if you live in a state with safe storage laws, a compliant gun safe keeps you legal. But if you own 1 or 2 guns, a full-size safe is overkill. You are paying for capacity you do not need. And if you need quick access for home defense, a safe in the garage or basement is useless. You need something closer to your bed. Quick access safes. These are small safes designed for 1 or 2 handguns, mounted to a wall, floor, or furniture, opened with a code, fingerprint, or RFID. The goal is balance. Secure enough to stop unauthorized access, but fast enough to access in an emergency. These safes come in two main styles: mechanical button lock and biometric fingerprint. Mechanical locks use a 4 to 6 digit code you punch in. Reliable. No batteries, no electronics to fail, but slower than biometric. You need to punch the code correctly under stress in the dark. Biometric locks read your fingerprint. Faster access. No code to remember, but they require batteries and the fingerprint reader can fail if your hand is wet, dirty, or injured. Both types work. The question is which failure mode you are more comfortable with. I prefer mechanical locks. They are simpler, fewer points of failure, and with practice you can punch a 4-digit code in under 2 seconds. But some people prefer biometric for the speed advantage. Test both if you can. See which one you can operate reliably under stress. Quick access safes cost $200 to $600 depending on size and features. Brands like Fort Knox, Voltec, and GunVault make quality units. Do you need a quick access safe? If you keep a gun for home defense and you have children or guests in your home, yes. A quick access safe lets you secure your gun when you're not home and access it quickly when you are. It is the right balance for most defensive gun owners. Lock boxes. These are basic steel boxes with a key lock or combination lock. Simple, cheap, but not secure against a determined thief. A lockbox stops a curious kid or a guest who stumbles onto your gun. It does not stop someone with a pry bar and 5 minutes. Lockboxes cost $50 to $150. Brands like Stack-On and Hornady make decent units. Do you need a lockbox? Only if you have minimal security needs and minimal budget. If you live alone, have no children, and just need to keep your gun out of sight from guests, a lockbox works. But if you have kids or live in an area with property crime, spend more and get a real safe. Cable locks and trigger locks. These come free with most guns. They are the minimum legal compliance in some states, but they are not real security. A cable lock threads through the action and prevents the gun from closing. A trigger lock blocks the trigger. Both can be defeated with bolt cutters in seconds. These locks are fine for transporting guns or temporary storage when you know the gun is unloaded. But they are not appropriate for storing a loaded defensive gun or for securing guns from children who have access to tools. Use them as an extra layer, but do not rely on them as your primary security. Now let's talk about what companies try to sell you that you do not need. Fire ratings. Gun safe companies love to advertise fire ratings. 30-minute fire rating, 60-minute fire rating, 2-hour fire rating. Here is the truth. Most house fires are controlled or burn out in under 30 minutes. A safe with a 30-minute rating at 1200 degrees protects your guns in 99% of fires. Paying double for a 2-hour rating is unnecessary unless you live in a remote area with slow fire response. The extra insulation adds weight and cost for minimal benefit. Dehumidifiers and climate control. Safe companies sell electric dehumidifiers and climate control systems. They claim your guns will rust without them. This is mostly marketing. If you live in a humid climate, throw a rechargeable silica gel pack in your safe. They cost $10. Recharge them in the oven every few months. Problem solved. You do not need a $50 electric dehumidifier. Door organizers and interior accessories. Safes come with cheap foam or carpet on the inside. Companies sell upgraded door organizers, pistol racks, and accessory holders. Most of this stuff is overpriced and unnecessary. Your guns do not care if they are resting on foam or leaning against each other. Save your money. Here are the mistakes gun owners make. Buying based on gun capacity instead of actual need. Safe companies rate capacity by cramming guns in with no optics, no slings, and no space. A safe rated for 20 guns realistically holds 12 if your rifles have scopes. Buy for actual capacity, not advertised capacity. Buying the cheapest safe available. A $300 safe from a big box store is sheet metal with a fancy paint job. It will stop a kid. It will not stop a thief with a pry bar. If you're going to buy a safe, buy one that actually provides security. Start at $800 minimum for a quality unit. Not bolting the safe down. A safe that is not bolted to the floor or wall can be carried out of your house and opened later. Thieves do this. A 200-pound safe sounds heavy until 2 guys pick it up and throw it in a truck. Bolt your safe to the floor. Always. Putting your safe in the garage or basement. Garages and basements are the first places thieves look. They are also where fires often start. If possible, put your safe in a closet or interior room, away from external walls and away from common entry points, keeping all your guns in one safe. If your house burns down or your safe is stolen, you lose everything. If you have a large collection, consider splitting it. Main safe for regular use guns, secondary storage for collectibles or rarely used guns. This spreads your risk. Now let's talk about legal requirements. Laws vary by state. Some states have no storage requirements. Others mandate locked storage if children are present. California has strict safe storage laws. Massachusetts requires all guns to be locked when not in use. Know your state laws. But here is my advice. Regardless of what the law requires, if you have children in your home, secure your guns. The law is the minimum standard. Your moral obligation is higher. A gun accident involving a child destroys families. It destroys lives. It is preventable with proper storage. Do not take chances. Lock your guns. Here are my specific recommendations based on situation. If you have children and own multiple guns, buy a full-size gun safe. Minimum £800. Good lockwork. Fire rated for 30 minutes minimum. Brands like Liberty, Canon, and Fort Knox make quality safes. Expect to spend $1,200 to $2,000. Bolt it to the floor. Put it in an interior room if possible. Keep all guns locked when not in use. If you have children and keep a gun for home defense, use a quick access safe for your defensive gun, Fort Knox or Voltec. Mechanical lock or biometric depending on preference. Mount it to your nightstand or wall near your bed. Practice opening it in the dark until you can do it in under 3 seconds. All other guns go in a full safe. If you live alone and own multiple guns, a full-size safe is still smart. You are protecting an investment and securing against theft. Same recommendations. $1,200 to $2,000 range. Bolt it down. If you live alone and only own 1 or 2 guns, a quick access safe is enough. Secure your defensive gun near your bed. Secure your other guns in a lockbox or secondary quick access safe. If you're on a tight budget and just need minimum secure storage, buy a quality lockbox and a cable lock. Hornady makes decent lockboxes for under $100. This is not ideal, but it is better than nothing. One more thing. Insurance. Homeowners insurance usually covers firearms but with low limits. Standard policies cover $1,500 to $2,000 total for all firearms. If you have a collection worth more than that, you need a rider or separate firearms policy. NRA offers firearms insurance, so do several specialty companies. This costs $50 to $200 per year depending on coverage. If you own more than $5,000 in guns, get insurance. Even the best safe can fail, and if your house burns to the ground, insurance replaces your collection. Storage for ammo. Ammunition should be stored separately from firearms when possible, especially if you have children. Ammo does not need a safe. It needs a cool, dry location away from heat sources. A locking cabinet or closet works fine. Military surplus ammo cans are perfect. They seal out moisture and stack efficiently. Keep ammo in original boxes labeled by caliber and purchase date. Rotate stock. Oldest ammo gets used first. And never store ammo loose in a safe with guns. If there is a fire, ammo can cook off and damage your firearms. So, what is the verdict? Here is my complete gun storage recommendation for 2026. If you have kids, spend real money on real security, a quality gun safe or quick access safe that a child cannot defeat. If you live alone, balance security and accessibility. Quick access safe for defensive. Guns, full safe or lockbox for others. Never compromise on security to save $100. The cost of a gun accident or a theft is infinitely higher than the cost of proper storage. And bolt your safe to the floor. Always. That is the complete gun storage and safe guide for 2026. Security versus accessibility. What you actually need versus what they try to sell you. The biggest mistakes and how to avoid them. If this video just saved you from buying the wrong safe, share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe because next week we are covering concealed carry, permit process, best practices, and the biggest legal mistakes that get people arrested. Hit that notification bell. See you in the next one.